Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today we're going to do another one of these flea market finds, or in this case, flea marketplace finds. A relative of mine has been introducing me recently to the Facebook Marketplace as a way to find some used equipment. And he's pointed out from time to time some good deals out there, what appear to be good deals. And one of the things that's good about Facebook Marketplace is it's local. So you can find deals that are in the area, and you know, it's almost like a Craigslist or that. But you can go there, and if you work the right deal with them, you can walk away with some good bargains from time to time. So in this case, what we were doing is I was searching out there. I found a local fellow who had 16 reels for sale for $50. And I'll share those with you today, but I wanted to share the marketplace for you as a way that as winter sets in and some of the open air markets close down, that you do have alternatives out there. Just be careful. There's a lot of folks out there that think very highly of what it is that they are selling, and it's poorly priced. So like anything else, you just got to know what your products are. But if you have a good understanding of what the value is and have a way to either sell that stuff off or use that stuff in your own personal repair or the like, then it's a value and it's a good place to go shopping. So let's get on with this then. So as I mentioned, I purchased 16 reels. 7 of them were working, and a few were not. And I'll take you through what I got and what I plan to do with them, and kind of give you an idea about what you can find out there. So the first one up is a pair of Long Beach 60 fishing reels. Now all of these are not prime in terms of cosmetics. They've been laying around quite some time now. The fellow that I had talked to said that the seller said that he does a lot of flea market kind of buying, and a lot of times these are the things that are left over from what he was actually purchasing. So he might have been purchasing a rod and this may have been attached to it, or he just may have been in somebody's bargain bin or the like. So $50, 16 reels. Here's what we got. We have a pair of Long Beach 60s. One of them is working, but obviously has a lot of dried grease to it. This one's going to be cleaned up. We're going to strip the line from that. I have a buyer. It's a commercial fishing boat that does charters, and I have a buyer who'll take all of these that I can find at $15, and if I service them up, he'll take the $20 to $25 for one of these. So that reel is working. This one is not. It's frozen, but I have so many pieces of Penn Long Beach parts that doesn't bother me. Again, I doubt if it's the spool. We'll probably use this as an example how to free a frozen reel, and do that as a video. But right now this one's frozen solid, but the side plates are good. That's the hardest thing to find on these darn Long Beaches, that these side plates crack, and you'd spend $10 or $15 just getting a replacement side plate for that. But again, I have gearing and I have other things, some broken reels over time. We'll put this one back together, and the 2 reels there I'll sell for $30, and most of the way to the $50 that I invested in 2 reels with 14 to go. So let's take a look at what else is in the box. I have this off camera just because the box is so big. Next one up then is a Penn Surfmaster. This is an early edition. This is like the Squidder, but the Surfmaster is without the bearings. The Penn Squidder, the 140, has bearings in the side plate. Sometimes they call these Squidder Juniors. They don't have the bearings, but everything else is the same. This has a broken side plate on it, so we're going to call that one of the ones that doesn't work. Also had somebody try to fix it and didn't know how to set the eccentric levers, so what we have here then is somebody put it on backwards. And the trick with this one, and we've talked about this before, is find the high point just there and then take it off and flip it around, because you will not, if you have it in a full throw, this will impede lining up with that. So just find the high point if you're replacing the eccentric, and find that high point, pull the screw, flip it around and put it back on. But I have a broken side plate here. Surprise, I have plenty of side plates for those too. Well, not plenty of them, but I have side plates for the 150 and the 250 series. This one's the 150, it's the narrow channel. And we'll put this one back into service because the gearing and everything is working. The only problem in this one is that the screw is broken. All right, 3 down. Next up then we have a Pen 9. I think it's the 9. Yeah, it's the Peerless 9. A lot of boat rash, but again, that can pretty much clean up. And I've seen some good results with that ultrasonic as a starting point. And none of these are going to come back and be beauty queens. They're not going to win any kind of contests, but they are going to go fishing again. In this one, there's it's turning roughly. That's because the channel up here seems to be loaded with salt as well as this. And we'll probably do this one. We may even do it as a video. And we'll get this one fishing again. So Pen 9, working, good condition. Here's another one. This one is also the Peerless 9. This one's in better condition, but it's missing the line guide shield. Otherwise, it's working. And it does have a chip in the side here. Now, again, if you're going to try and resell these in the market, chip side plate, no good, right? Because it can fracture. It definitely has a takeaway value in terms of the reel. And without the line shield, also not a good idea. But we can get those, and you can get those relatively inexpensive. So if you happen to be working through mysticparts.com and you're rebuilding reels, and in particular you're working on something, for example, let's say that Long Beach, I want to go get some parts for the Long Beach. Doesn't hurt to just kind of double up your order and work with the, order the part, the line guide shield at that point, and you can save on the shipping and all. Okay, so we'll call that one working even though it's missing a piece. Next up then is a Pen 180. Interestingly enough, again, working, original handle, older reel. I got some boat rash on it. We'll clean that one up and put that one right back into service. Now, interestingly enough, I have another 180 laying around somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here it is. This one was not part of the sale, but this is a 180. Again, seems like we got a common theme here with folks that don't know how to put the level wind feature back on. But this one has a replacement handle on it, I think. I haven't seen that as a pen handle, so kind of interesting. That might actually be off of a different reel. But at any rate, we have one, and if we need to, between the two of these, we'll make one good reel. Again, this one's got better chrome on some, with the exception of the spool there, and this also has the etched side plates, which puts the dating of this somewhere in the 1950s or so. So that's not part of the deal, but the one that is part of the deal we'll work on between the two of them. Okay, Seahawk. We have a Pen 77. It's a direct drive reel, working very tight. And that's just because I'm sure there's dried grease in there. These clean up real nice. The chrome on these was never a good thing to begin with. These were relatively inexpensive reels. That's always brassed off on most of these. You have the original handle. You have it turning. There's no reason to believe this one can't go fishing again. We'll strip this off. We'll pull the screws. There's only 2 gears in here. There's a spool gear and a direct drive gear. And we'll just make sure that those are lubed up and bring that back to work and go fishing again, or for somebody to display. Okay, we mentioned a lot of these have the boat rash on them. In this case, this is a parts reel. So we were talking before about the 150 that's in trouble. This one is turning, and it has a solid side plate. So I may just go for this one. We'll have to see, even though the number's wrong. 200, who cares? If you're fishing, you're not going to pay attention to it. Again, from a resale standpoint, if you had a 150 with a 200 side plate on there, it's going to mean something. This one doesn't mean anything. So why is it a parts reel? Well, this side of the reel is cracked, so that's no good. And also, if it shows up on the camera here, we have a chip in this plastic spool. So this spool would have to be replaced. Now, a lot of times folks ask me, did they just make the plastic spool because they wanted a cheaper reel? Because these come in plastic and metal spools. And the answer is no. Actually, the plastic spool was made if you intended to cast this reel. And remember, this is Surfmaster, and that's what a lot of folks were doing at the time. They were casting this reel. And a lighter weight spool makes the line travel further than a heavier spool, which creates more drag when you're casting. So it wasn't a matter of either or, you know, in terms of trying to save a few dollars. The idea was that this would outperform the metal spool when casting. So we'll take this apart. We'd probably just swap out the side plates with that 150 and make one reel out of it, and just hold the other pieces for another day. And it looks like in this case, it's probably hard to see on this video here, but it looks like we've probably got a spider or something in here that made a home of it in that basket there. All right, continuing right along, here's a 330 Senator. And this is typically what will happen if somebody has a side reel in the boat, sitting in a pole rack, probably used to catch bait fish or something, but not used as the primary reel. The salt just sprays up on this from time to time. They never hose it off. They just leave it in the rack, and that's what happens. You just get caked on salt here. We'll clean it up. We'll do the best we can. Everything seems to be functioning in this reel, and strip down the thing, do the best we can, and clean up. It'll be an inexpensive reel for somebody to put back into fishing, but it's going to be a solid performer. It's working right now. So continuing right along there, next up then we have a Ocean City, I believe. This is the Brigantine Reel. It's an older direct drive reel. You can tell the direct drive reels because they don't have the star drag on them. Sometimes you'll actually find these with the leather thumb pad, which was the braking system for this. This one appears to be spinning, and it appears that we have a free spool. And what I would guess on this one is that it hasn't been oiled or lubed in a real long time. We're missing the cap on this side. That may or may not be a problem. The spool is turning here. I'll see if I can find a replacement cap for that. If not, this one just may become a parts reel. We'll have to see. But again, 16 reels, $3 a piece. I'm not going to argue too much with that. Here's another Ocean City reel. This is probably their most popular version. This is the 112, so you had the 112 and the 113 from an Ocean City standpoint. They were pretty much the Penn Reel 60 and 65. The 112 being the narrow channel, the 113 being a little bit wider. This one's clearly parts reel all the way. This doesn't turn, it's frozen, and we have a cracked side plate. So maybe even this one, it's possible. It's possible that this one may even fit that Brigantine that we just had open there as a side plate nut. Again, I'm not concerned with this stuff being collectible. I'm not concerned about trying to put that one out there for any particular sale. Just making them work and getting them back to fishing if possible. So here we go. Here's 112 the way it should look. This one's in nice condition, but again, we have a surface crack here. We have a surface chip over here. Otherwise, this one's bright and shiny. It's working. You can feel that it's been quite some time since anything's been done to it. It's very tight from a line release standpoint. But other than that, this one's pretty good. So we'll see. See what we can do with that one. I think we can probably put that back out. This isn't a through crack here. And some folks will say, you know, just chip this off, put some crazy glue on there, and just set it back in, and it'll hold its place, because it's not chipped through this way. It's just a surface chip on it the other way. But good reel and what it appears to be. Alrighty, still got 5 or 6 more reels in here, believe it or not. So I hope you're getting the notion. You know, if you can take a look at what you got going out there from a value standpoint, and maybe it's possible to do something. So here's another 9. Oh, this is the 109. It's missing the reel seat. I probably have a reel seat around here. Guess what? It has the shield. Well, that shield should fit that other Pen 9 that I had that we're looking for a shield on. Seems to work with the clicker anyway. Let's see what else we got. We may either get a... All right, well, the shield is bent up, but that's not a hard thing to go fix. It seems to be working, so I'm going to have to make a game day decision as to whether I want to repair this one with a replacement reel seat, or if I want to just use that one for parts on the other reel. Okay, now we got another 180 here. it's missing a side plate, broken side plate. So this is a parts reel. Just checking the spool on this one. Seems like most of the gearing is working here. Yeah, we just have a broken side plate. So if I can find a side plate for it, and there should be a couple that fit that, then we can go ahead and use that. If not, we'll use it for parts. The spool looks good. I'm looking here right now. The internal gearing seems to be turning. And this side plate is chipped, but otherwise kind of working. So not a bad deal there. Oh, must be into the parts where we have broken pieces and parts. Well, guess what? This is another Ocean City. Nope, this is a Pfluger. This is a Pfluger 1878. Here's that leather thumb brake we were talking about on the other one. Maybe I can take that and put that over on the Brigantine when I get that one fixed up. Here's a cap. I don't think that one's going to fit the Brigantine because it's two separate manufacturers. This one's Pfluger, the other one's Ocean City. But there's a chance that we may be able to use some pieces and parts off of this one as well. So the notion here is all about ingenuity, right? Here's another one. Here's another 180 or 160. This one, again, has got an etched scene on it. This has got the lighthouse scene on it, but unfortunately it's got a cracked gear case here. And just like the other one, this one's turning. It's kind of hard to see. Love the old handles, right? But this one, for the most part, seems to be turning. So, again, when I get a chance, take a deep breath. We'll take a couple of these that we have, see what we can do with them. This one's missing bridge screws and other things, but two nice reels. This one's the older reel. It has the etched side plate, and it has the older style of the knob, but we'll see what we can do. I mean, it's, for the price paid, it's certainly nothing to worry about. And then finally, some of these little things here that I generally just give away. We have two flywheels here. This is a Kmart special, attention blue light specials. It's working. And this one I'm unfamiliar with. I can't see a stamping on it. It's a South Bend. So South Bend and Kmart's weren't very expensive reels, but here's two flywheels that work, and I'll find somebody who's a fly fisherman and be happy to make his day or her day by passing those along. So there you go, 16 reels if I counted correctly, $50. The marketplace is on Facebook. It's a local marketplace, so you don't have to worry about paying postage or anything that increases the unit cost for you. You do have to have some time availability, and you do have to know what you're shopping for in order to determine whether it's a value or not. So buyer beware is always the caution. But if you can make a quick decision in terms of the value you can get out of those reels, then certainly it's worth pursuing. In my case, I know I have a marketplace right away for the two Long Beaches, and I know that the market on the Penn Center to 3.0 certainly is going to clear the $50 I paid. And then I got 13 more reels to go figure out what to do with and go make a profit on. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I've opened up your eyes to another source where you can do flea market finds, especially as we get into the winter and some of those open air markets close up. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Please like the videos and subscribe. That's what's keeping this channel alive. And I'm trying to grow my subscriber base. Tell your fishing friends and buddies about it. And stay tuned for more. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Thank you for watching.